Hey everybody, I am super excited because today I have an old friend with me, Kostis Protopapas, a music director and general manager.
Artistic and general director.
There you go, of Opera Santa Barbara, and a fantastic pianist and conductor. Hi Kostis, it's so good to see you. It's been
Hi,
years.
Marco. It's great to see you too. It's been years.
How long has it been? Too long, 10 years.
I don't know. You were singing opera last time I saw you.
Yeah, I still am, just on a camera to people all over the world.
Well, we miss you.
Yeah, I miss you too. I'm really excited because, this is a whole new venture, and you just told me off screen that I have to tell everybody. Now the world has to know, Kostis, that you love the music of Angry Birds.
That's very true. I don't play video games, and I don't even know if Angry Birds qualifies as one, but I do have the app on my phone. It's just the right kind of wacky activity that it just has
your mind away.
No relationship to anything and makes absolutely no sense. It's incredibly entertaining. So I was just listening to the music when I was playing. I was like, wow, that sounds like fun. So I actually went to Spotify and downloaded. There's like 2 albums in there. It's like Angry Birds 1 and Angry Birds 2. It's something like that. It's like some crazy stuff. I really love it.
Oh god, it's amazing. I have picked out a bunch of things that are more classically based, but maybe we'll see if we can derail some things. And there's also some Greek things because, of course, with a name like Kostis Protopapas, you're certainly not French. So Marco and Kostis, it's a very.
What can go wrong?
The music fans will be very angry with me because I've done 3 of these and I haven't ever included the Halo theme song. So I'm going to start with that. This is a song that will be copyright claimed, so we're going to listen to this, talk about it, but this will be on the full unedited version. Assassin's Creed Odyssey takes place.
This is funny that you should say. I have not played Assassin's Creed or seen. I know it's very popular, but we're doing Il Trovatore by Verdi next year. So I was doing a little bit of research when I hired our director and the design team, and I wanted to tell them, we're doing like research, and he was like, well, what do you want? And so I was just doing research online. So I ran into some images from Assassin's Creed, and I included some of those photos in the research.
Really?
As well as our illustrator, who all our posters for next season are created like in the form of Classics Illustrated. So it's like illustration. He's done like caricatures of the singers dressed in the costumes and all that. That's also part of the research that I gave the illustrator to just try to explain what's on my mind. But beyond that, cool. I just don't know anything about it.
This is called Odyssey, the Greek version. So there's Greek singing in it.
What other version is there?
The non-Greek version.
Anything. Look, it can't be Odyssey if it's not Greek. I mean, we invented it. It's ours. And the conversation. That the music changes when things get active in the game or whatever, right? Because that's a little bit too relaxing. I can't imagine.
It's actually the introduction of the game, and Icaros, the ego that you have, is flying around, and you're sitting on the edge of I think it plays at the end credits too.
The lyrics were some form of Greek. It could be Homeric Greek or something. I don't know. It certainly didn't sound like modern Greek. Also, the singer didn't sound like Greek. So they could have gotten a Greek singer. But the voice, her voice was very apropos. It reminded me of some of the famous Greek singers like
yeah.
It's very. I mean, I also noticed that some of the additional music by some Greek guys. So clearly they had some expertise on the team.
I mean, they're certainly trying to have that soundscape, the authenticity of whether or not
I think they did a good job.
Moving on. This is a character theme about a man named Laurence, the first vicar. In Bloodborne and a lot of these games from this company called From Software, they actually sound like modern symphonies in a lot of ways, because almost every single thing, there are 2 phases to each battle, and so there are 2 phases to each music. It's like Angry Birds, right?
No, not even. A completely different thing. Yeah, that's all right. Kind of sounds like standard issue in the world of contemporary classical music.
Is it less impressive because it feels like standard classical music, or is it more like, is it impressive because it's in the medium of video games, or is it not impressive because it sounds like everything you hear?
The fact that it's in the video game doesn't really make a lot of difference to me because I don't know anything about video games. Yes, I heard a lot of music like that. It's like there's a formula.
The men and the
This
thing.
is fundamentally pretty simple music, and it's don't get me wrong, it's good, it's lovely. Good tunes, and there's certainly a lot of craft in doing it. But it's it's basically a tune. It's like it's sort of minimalist, and then it has this kind of chord progressions they're always just a little bit weird, but not too weird, and they always sound modern, but they really aren't. I mean, it's like
yeah.
To Ray Vaughan Williams.
Yeah, that's true.
It's good. Just not as interesting to me.
Well, then I'll give you something else. This is a guy. He's Greek, Chris Christodoulou.
That's gonna be great. You don't have to play it. It's great. It's the best.
Well, we should play it just in case he watches.
The target audience for this video game like 50-year-olds?
50-year-olds? No.
Yes.
No, it's actually like no. It's like
because that plays. I mean, the music is like so totally like from my teenage years. Like I mean, that could have been the Scorpions right there at the end.
Yeah. I think.
This is groovy. I quite liked it. The way it went from classical piano and that. I think the first part is like probably an homage to Chopin. There's a Chopin prelude.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. I didn't realize that.
Goes into that like kind of 80s.
Yeah.
Rock. I dig it. It's really good. A little depressing, but good.
Yeah. I realized as we were going through it, I was like, I got a lot of slow songs in here.
I was gonna say, don't they have any fast music in the video games?
Yeah, they do. Hold on, I gotta change some things up here. Check this out. You'll appreciate this. I was actually blown away by this music. When I first heard it, I was like, why the hell do I want to listen to music from a fighter playing game? Like, it sounds really, I was really judgmental about it. certainly faster.
Yeah, no, it was good. I mean, if I had to stay on hold on the phone for a long time, I wouldn't mind listening to that. There's difference, but the same. I mean, it's good. It's not. It's all not bad. It's sort of the same recipe as some of the other stuff, except it's got the flamenco thing in it. Was good. After you hear 3 or 4 of these, for me, with the one thing that gets old after a while and it starts to become progressive, less interesting, is the sound of the synthetic strings.
I know.
And the synthetic everything, really. The guitar sound was pretty convincing. I don't know, it may have been an actual guitar. Actually, I don't know. My ears aren't that great. But everything else was clearly generated by computer. Nothing wrong with that. It probably couldn't produce as much music as we produce these days. Everything had to be, recorded by a symphony orchestra. But and I imagine, I think that some of these scores actually make it onto the concert stage and are played by.
Yeah, they do.
But part of the experience of listening to music is somehow connecting with the people who playing it, whoever they are. And so when the sound is so blatantly synthetic,
it robs the immediacy of the. I know.
It's a little bit. It's a little bit two-dimensional.
All right. Well, then I've got something that's definitely played by real instruments for you. The enemies of this game are actually based off of the Commedia dell'arte characters. So La Signora, Tartaglia, Pantalone. instruments?
Some.
yeah, of course there is some synthetic. Yeah, near the other.
I like that. Especially appreciated the little 1416 section.
Mm-hmm.
Pa-pa-um.
People want to bemoan that game, but that music is very, very good. And the thing is, It's based on a bunch of different regions that they've turned into the game. So like there's a region called Inazuma that's only Japanese themed music. Liyue is a region that only has Chinese music, and so on and so forth. And it does evoke us something sort of similar to the opera idea, where like, you know, this idea of leitmotifs or character music that is telling a story about how the character feels and so on and so forth. You know, in that particular thing, we're fighting against this Tartaglia character because he's kind of a swindler. He very much, the Tartaglia that we know of Commedia dell'arte is actually not dissimilar to how Tartaglia is in the game, which is really, really fun. And it's also educational. Yeah. Do you know Christopherton?
No.
He's going to be doing the final act of Turandot for W&O in the fall.
Writing a new ending?
Mm-hmm. He also, and so this is it's a song called Baba Yetu from Civilization IV. It won the Grammy, actually. One of the first pieces to win a Grammy based on video game music, actually. And this is a live performance. Baba Yetu, Yetu, ye mbinguni yetu, yetu, amina, Baba Yetu, Yetu, jina lako litukuzwe. Chakula chetu kinacheuta tusamehe makosa yetu waliutukosea usituti katika na jugu lakini usokwe na yule milele.
Nice, uplifting.
Yeah, very.
Live is always better.
Obviously, as a person who performs live all the time, like, do you feel like there is a disconnect that we have between what we hear and what we see, and that it would be better to sort of experience all of this stuff live? And do you feel like we're getting used to the sort of synthetic sound that may cause an emotional reaction, but is maybe not as, I don't want to say pure, but not as like authentic as the real thing? Or do you think like all that matters is that someone is being moved by music ultimately?
Sort of all of the above, but music fulfills all kinds of different purposes. When I was a teenager, I did dabble with synthesizers and electronic organs and stuff like that. So I, have my involvement with that only sort of broadened my interest and my passion for the music. But all those things were always, and still, synthetic sounds are not unacceptable to me, but they're the emotional impact comes from the metaphor. I mean, they are really a substitute for the real thing. My emotional reaction is the same, except not to the same degree. Now, completely original sounds are extremely interesting. Like the sounds in Angry Birds. I mean, that's not substitute for anything. It's its own thing, and it's very entertaining. I think music fulfills various purposes, and I think it is inseparable from the human psyche and experience. I listen to recorded music all the time.
Yeah, of course.
Actually don't ever listen to recorded opera. If I listen to an opera recording, it has to be of a live performance. I don't know. There's something antiseptic about the recordings, and that it has to be in the moment. We love music. We're like, anything is good. Anything is good. It's like as long as people get moved, people will listen to music, and I think that's all that matters. I mean, it doesn't matter what I think, what you think. People are going to listen to music. And that's what's wonderful about it. I remember one moment in the Trovatore performance at the Chicago Lyric a few years ago with Tamara Wilson. In the last act, she sang so softly, and the orchestra matched her. You are in this space that seats, 3,400 people.
Mm-hmm.
The place is packed and everybody's quiet, and you can hear that little silk thread of sound. And that experience you never forget. I'm not saying not everybody's going to be a fan, right? I mean, not everybody would like opera, and that's fine. But just for that experience, so you've had that once happen, is worth checking out a live classical performance with actual instruments. Other than that, everything's great. We love music. Any music will do.
Yeah. Do you feel like if you listen to these pieces, would they mean more to you if you knew what was happening like directly in the moment, or like with the visuals, or do you think it doesn't matter? Music is music.
There's no doubt that context matters. The human experience is a combination of things. There's nothing isolated. I listen to this music with different ears than the people who play the video game, and they have an association with it. I mean, I think their experience is probably more complete and more complex, but it's possible that I'm hearing something that they're not hearing because I don't have a context. So the only context is my previous experiences or what's in my head.
Right.
So exactly. I'm focusing on different things. Even when music is not supposed to be the main event, it always shapes the event. Yeah, when you go play a video game, you go play the video game. You're not going to a concert, right? So the music is nowhere, but the music substantially alters how that comes down. And better music, better matched music or whatever, or more inspired music, you'll have more fun. A lot of people were angry a couple of years ago where, I don't know if they changed that now, but there was at least one time where the Oscars, they decided they were not going to broadcast the best song and best soundtrack during the prime time. So not all the categories make it to the live thing. And they took the music and songs out, and it's like, what are you talking about? I mean, music is half of the movie. Maybe the Tartaglia, or one of the songs, reminds you of Ennio Morricone's music in the
Yeah.
I mean, those movies. Can you imagine The Godfather without the music, or The Good, the Bad, the Ugly without the music?
It's fundamental.
Titanic without the music.
Kostis, before we go, do you want to tell everybody about yourself a little bit and where they can, well, not find you, but go see a performance?
We don't have that many. We're a small opera company in Santa Barbara, California. You can find out more information on our website, operasb.org. We have a fairly active Facebook page. We put a lot of great content out. So even if you can't be in Santa Barbara and see all of our shows, you can subscribe to our newsletter, info@operasb.org. And we send about one email every week, and there's always content. There's videos, there's fun stuff. If you haven't been to Santa Barbara, make the trip. It's worth it, but not in May and June.
Wait, why?
Because May gray and June gloom. We haven't seen the sun in about 3 weeks.
So if you want to go to Santa Barbara, don't go in May and June, and definitely make the trip.
July through April is great.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Kostis. I really appreciate you coming on.
It's great to see you, man. I'm glad you're doing so well. And don't be a stranger now.
I will. I appreciate you being here. And we'll talk soon.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you. Bye, everybody. See ya.
Take it easy, brother.
Bye.